This lady that's coming up to share a little bit of her story, and she's going to close out with some music today. So we're going to go out with a bang. She's from New York City. She's from Brooklyn, and she has a story. God has flipped her life around in a lot of amazing ways, and so I've been friends with her and her husband now for many years. Shout out to my man, Ren. Got the little guy in the front row, too. So y'all show some love for Jeannie Ortega. Give it up for her.
Jeannie Ortega, Pat Post. Let me show you how it's supposed to be done.
I just pray that you cover me when I'm up there, cover my voice, cover, everything that I do, that I don't mess up, that I give everybody a good show.
From Bushwick, Brooklyn, Jeannie Ortega.
Would you please welcome for the first time, Jeannie Ortega.
Praise God.
Because he has anointed me to preach the gospel.
Jeannie Ortega, she's anointed. We love
There's something missing in him. I can dance across the moon with you.
Ortega singing Love by You.
I'm so happy to be alive. So happy you're by my side. So glad that I'm in love with you. You think that you can shake me now. You think that you can break me down. You think that you can twist some words and tell me who I am. But I know who I am. He's Yahweh, Yahweh. He's Yahweh, always. He shows up for me. He's the truth and the life and the way. He's Yahweh, Yahweh. He's Yahweh, all day. He shows up for you too.
All right. I'm honored to be the last speaker at an entrepreneur conference. I literally, when Pastor Tommy asked me, I'm just like, I'm for sure an entrepreneur, but I'm like one of those entrepreneurs that it just keeps on accidentally happening. So I wanted y'all to see my visual testimony because I'm not going to have a lot of time to share it with you. But I do want you to know that God really did give me a message for this. So some of y'all probably believers, some of you not. But I really was just like, Lord, what would I be talking at an entrepreneur conference about? And I felt like this is a message that was given to me specifically for you. And the fact that it's ending with this, I really believe that there's a purpose for that. So I've been an entrepreneur before I even knew what the word entrepreneur was. I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. And at that time, it was the ghetto. It's not the ghetto anymore. But I talked earlier in a panel, and basically my thrust into entrepreneurship was out of desperation. I needed to make it out the hood. I couldn't stay in my house because it was very violent. I couldn't hang outside the house because it was very violent. And I didn't want to be here anymore. Very early on, I just didn't want to be here anymore. And music got my attention. And music is really what saved my life. And, coming from where I came from, I was in an environment where everything was rinse and repeat. It's like you didn't make it out the hood. Everyone just did the same thing. And it was that kind of circle. And for me, because of my circumstances, I wanted out. And that I wanting it out is where the entrepreneur was born, right? And for some of y'all, maybe that's not the story. I know for a lot of us that were on the panel before, we were like, man, our stories is so similar. It's like there's a desperation that happens, and you want to just get out. So the message that I have to end today. There is amazing people here, people that can really give you guidance and help you and give you strategy and all that. And I felt like what God wanted me to give you was you cannot be an entrepreneur without radical faith. You just can't. Now, for those who are believers, you know, without faith it's impossible to please God, right? We know the scriptures about faith. We know that faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right? Which I think for us entrepreneurs is like, that's how it starts. We have a dream, and then we don't, we can envision it, but it's not actualized yet, and then you step out in faith. But an entrepreneur, what it is a risk taker. And you need to get really comfortable with believing before you see. And I wanted to speak to our identities today, because it's great to have a lot of dreams. And for entrepreneurs, sometimes we're like, you know what? Like, I got this idea, then I got this idea, then I got this idea, then I got this idea. And that's great. But if you have all those ideas, you're not really believing in any of them fully. And so it's really, really important for us to figure out what it is that we're meant to do, what we're supposed to do, and then step out in radical faith on that. So I'm going to kind of read a little bit through it, because I really want to give you what God gave me for you. See, I was crazy enough, a girl from the hood, as a little girl, I was crazy enough to believe that I could make it out the hood and become a singer. I couldn't even really sing at the time. Like, I just knew music had power. It helped save my life. And I'm like, I'm going to do this for other little girls. Really, that was the ambition. That's how it started. But it was that desperate cry in me that wanted to then go and help others. And music was God's way of saving my life. I was suicidal. I was rejected, and I didn't fit in. Why do I say this? Because I know entrepreneurs, we feel the same way. There's some foundational things that we all kind of wrestle with. And if we can get through the wrestling and actually believe and have faith in God and the path that He had got us on to get to where we are, then we can actually actualize the thing that He's called us to do. So my radical faith led to results. I was discovered in a New York City taxi cab. I was singing along to the radio. The cab driver was a limo driver. He moonlit as a limo driver who drove around famous people. And he said, "You have such a beautiful voice. Like, can I give anything to somebody? Like, I drive around famous people." And that's legit how it happened. I didn't have like somebody that could fund me. I didn't have anybody that can show me how to make it in the industry. It was a New York City taxi driver that literally gave my karaoke recording to a famous manager in the industry. And then you got to kind of see some of the things that I was able to accomplish just because I was crazy enough to be like, I got you right there. I was desperate. I needed to make it out. I was recording. I was singing. Wherever I could, I was doing it. And then I lived my pop star dreams. By the time I was 19, I had a Billboard hit single, top Billboard. The album was voted #1 on the Heat Seeker charts. I toured with Rihanna. I was her opening act. I did all these cool things. I had way more money than anyone in my family had ever had. I made it out the hood, right? And so that was it. That spark of entrepreneurship to walk out and like just sing wherever I could led to that. And then I had a legit come to Jesus moment, because I did all that and I still felt very broken, still felt very lost, didn't know the point of it all. I walked away from Hollywood into holyhood. Then I got married young, and I started learning the meaning of life and my life. And that is the season where I got super strong in my identity. And so I could talk to you, like, I know when you see the video, probably what you're most impressed by in the natural is all the cool things I was able to accomplish, all the celebrities that I was with or the stages that I was on. But really, the secret sauce of being an entrepreneur and believing and having radical faith, it wasn't birthed in that season. It was birthed in the season after that. It was birthed when I really was able to get away for a while, learn who I was, learn the meaning of my existence and purpose, learn who my creator was, learn that there was a divine design for me. And that's when I got super strong to actually be crazy enough to keep on taking risk, keep on being radical in my faith. But I'm not going to lie to you, because it was in that same season that I got broke. I couldn't get a job at Dollar Tree, y'all. My resume was like, graduated high school, went on tour, released top pop records, but like Dollar Tree don't care. You know, like the regular job didn't care. And so because I skipped schooling to pursue my dreams, all I could do now was take risk. And again, I guess that's probably, I was put in another desperate situation. I can't get a normal job, right? All right, let me see where I am. So I felt consistent, like, you know, I just prayed consistently. I was talking to Dana earlier, and she talked about just being in that place with God. And see, the problem with entrepreneurs is sometimes we're just so busy trying to figure it out that we don't actually stop trying to figure it out, turn off, and like see what we're supposed to be doing, like seek God for what we're supposed to be doing. So for me, when I got broke and I had nowhere to turn and no one would hire me, all I could do was cry out to God for guidance. What's my purpose? Why did I do all that? Why did I make it out the hood? Why didn't I kill myself? All that stuff. And then what you do when you are in that place is you hear. And so that's amazing, because if you already could hear what you're supposed to do, then stepping out, I think, is a little bit easier. But I wound up getting a job as an entertainment reporter in New York City for one of the biggest Christian publications. And so that was just me stepping out. Had no journalism degree, none of that. But I needed a job. And so I just sent in my ridiculous resume, and they were like, we just wanted to meet you. We didn't think this was real. And so they did, but I said, look, you're looking for an entertainment reporter. Well, I've never done reporting, but I've been an entertainer my whole life. I'm coming at it from the other side of the ball. You know, I can do this. So it's me just taking risk again, putting myself out there. They gave me a chance, and I did that for 10 years. Through that, I worked for one of the biggest Christian publications in the world, but I was able to get a TV show. And so it opened up so many doors. And in that season, I also wrote a book. I started to release albums and Christian albums, because now I'm a Christian and I'm trying to find myself and all that. And let me just say this, just to help encourage you. I knew nothing about how to get to Hollywood. I knew nothing about journalism. I knew nothing about broadcast TV. I knew nothing about independently releasing music once I was dropped from my label, because I was a Christian now. I knew nothing about writing a book. But because I was brave enough to take a risk every time the opportunities came, God breathed on it. And because of that, I was able to get a Billboard top, became a Billboard topping singer, a respected journalist, a published author, and I just want to encourage you. Radical faith is the secret sauce. It takes radical faith to take these risks. And it takes you listening to God's voice to know what risks to take. Not everything is of God. Not every risk is what you're supposed to do. So when He becomes the captain, it doesn't matter if you're not qualified. Continue to I wasn't qualified for anything that I've done. I don't feel qualified right now. But I'm brave enough to stand here and tell you, I don't even know what entrepreneur really is, but I know that I've done it over and over and over. And that's what being an entrepreneur is, just taking risk. And I'm over time, but understand you're in good company. If you know Bible, if you know Scripture, Abraham took a risk to leave everything he knew. Moses to cross the sea. David to face Goliath. Esther to approach the king when, she could have been killed. Daniel to pray regardless of the punishment. Jesus, his disciples to keep preaching even though it meant death. It takes risk, y'all. But these people that I just mentioned, I don't know them. That was thousands of years ago. But here we are talking about them. And if that's the kind of entrepreneur that you want to be, then follow God. Plug in, tap into Him. My prayer is that your identity be strong enough to trust Him and to step out and do anything that He asks you to do. I got a lot more that I would like to say, but I'll end with this. I'm going to sing a song real quick. And I just want you to know you're not in this alone. Be brave enough to take the risk. Do it afraid. You don't know what to do. We are living in a world where everything is so user-friendly. Or you have a community like this where you can come now and ask questions. Do it. I'll be at the table there. I'm selling my books where I talk about my full story and really how crazy it was. But I'd love to share with you, and let's tap in with others. This right here is meant to stir up the gifts in us so we can be motivated to keep going. So let's all be together for Jesus. All right, y'all? All right, this song is called Don't Ever. And I just felt like it's on my new record that I just released, Letting Go, but I really feel like this was the song that God wanted me to sing. I had cooler songs that I thought I could have sang, but this is what I felt to sing. So I hope it blesses you. Thank y'all for coming. Do you ever feel like you don't fit in with the crowd? No matter what you do, misunderstood, counted out. You never really got the validation anyhow. So why won't this desire die down? You wanna be heard. You wanna feel seen. You wanna believe that you're somebody's everything. 'Cause in you there's worth, and you are more than the hurt. Such a perfect design, you were created to shine. So don't ever fall in line. That means don't compromise, y'all. Be brave to take risk. Be brave to do what God is asking for you to do today, regardless what anyone says. Longing for a space I know I've never been in. 'Cause here I'm nothing like them, I will never be them. I'll never compromise, never sell out to win. A place I don't have to pretend. I wanna be heard. I wanna feel seen. I wanna believe that I'm somebody's everything. 'Cause in me there's worth, and I am more than the hurt. It's perfect design, I was created to shine. So I'll never fall in line. In life you learn it's never fair. Sometimes people won't be there, but if you don't give up, you'll see that you were truly meant to be. Just put your trust in the Most High, 'cause nothing else will satisfy. You will make it through the night and help someone who's lost their life. Come on, you've always been heard and you're always seen. He died on the cross to show you that you're His everything. Hallelujah. 'Cause in you there's worth, and you are more than the hurt. Such a perfect design, you were created to shine. So don't ever fall in line. Hey. God bless you guys. Praying for you all. Keep shining, y'all.
Come on, y'all, give it up for Jeannie Ortega. Bless you, girl.